Hello everyone, thanks for tuning into the 16th Christmas update. So we started the updates on the 1st of November, and every other day or so since then we've been having a look at the long-range CFS V2 model at website meteoseal.fr, see what it's showing for Christmas. We have various solutions cropping up this year, being another year of quite interesting Christmas updates, but it's been a bit colder actually with these updates this year compared to what we've had over recent years when we've done these updates. We've had various cold solutions, even one or two quite severe snowy solutions turning up with the CFS V2, and we're going to see what it's showing again tonight for the 16th update. But it won't be long now before we leave the CFS behind, because the shorter range cousin of the CFS, which is the GFS model, the Global Forecasting System, that is just coming into the pre-Christmas period. So it's up to around the 20th now at 384 hours, 20th of December. So in around 5 days, it will start to pick up the actual Christmas period itself. And it's at that point that we leave behind the CFS and we move to the GFS, and at that point we start getting a bit more serious with the update. What we've been doing so far is just for fun and seeing what model is showing, see if we can pick out a trend. I'd say we have had a bit of a trend towards things being on the colder side, but when we get to the GFS, that's when we start to actually pin down the detail of the Christmas period, because it's a very important time. A lot of people travelling around, so it is always important when we get closer to Christmas to actually start working out what the weather is going to be doing through that critical period. So few more updates with the CFS. I think there's probably going to be 2 or 3, and then after that we go on to the GFS at weathercentral.de. However, we've still got a couple more updates to do with CFS, including tonight, so I'll get on with that for you in a moment. Before I get on with that, just say about the ads. There's links to articles on all the pages. Have a browse through widgets and click through links. If there's any articles that you're interested in, you're going to be helping us to pay for the website. Thanks very much for doing that. And the Christmas shop is still open. We opened the Christmas shop at Gasworth on the 1st of November when we started the Christmas updates. So if you've got any Christmas shopping to do at Amazon between now and Christmas, just click the green button that says Christmas shop, and then it takes you to our Christmas shop page. From there, you click through the Amazon banners. That's the key to the whole thing. Go through the Amazon banners, and you do your Christmas shopping on Amazon. As normally, don't need to do anything differently whatsoever, just because you've gone from our website to theirs. That means we get a revenue fee on the things that you are buying, and a big thank you to everybody for doing that. Been a huge success again this year, so thanks for helping to support Gasworth. And you've still got time to do your Christmas shopping. They're very quick sending the stuff out at Amazon, so you've still got time, but I wouldn't leave it too much longer because we are getting well into December now. I think it's 3 weeks today, isn't it? But it's Christmas Day, so certainly won't be long. I've got some mince pies baking in the oven, and that's normally a sign that it's getting closer. So we're going to start off with the CFS V2 on the 15th of December. Just say this is a midday run. I have to assume that people are watching this for the first time, so I have to explain what we're doing. It was generated midday yesterday, the 3rd of December. There's always a 24-hour delay on these charts. And the reason we use midday run of the CFS 9-monthly forecast, well, there isn't particularly a reason for the midday run. We just try to stick to the same run each time, then we can't be told off for cherry picking particularly cold charts. So this is just the way they come out, and as they've generated midday yesterday on the 3rd of December. The links are Meteo Seals on the links page, so you can go and have a look at these charts for yourself if you like. So we're starting off on the 15th of December, and we're in a flat westerly flow here. We've got low pressure coming in off the Atlantic. The main parent low is quite a deep one across Greenland, and all these little low pressures here in the flow are sort of secondary features. So we run through into the 15th to the 16th. That looks quite unsettled there. Area of low pressure moving through, and then the 17th, a very deep area of low pressure developing to the south of Greenland at 950 millibars. That's a deep storm system. That's bringing gales and heavy rain there across the country on the 17th of December. Everything driving in off the Atlantic. Let's go on and run up towards Christmas. So this is the 18th, where a deep storm is to the north of Scotland. That's bringing severe gale force winds to northern parts of the country. No doubt heavy rain too. Quite chilly air. The air is coming from a fair way north in the Atlantic, so that could bring wintry showers to the north, but it is a particularly cold scenario because the air obviously is driving in off the Atlantic Ocean, which is always going to be fairly warm at this time of year, or mostly it will be warm at this time of year. Through to the 20th and the 21st, we get another area of low pressure running into the north of Scotland. Again, very tightly packed isobars in with that, so another battering of gales there from the 20th of December into 21st. And then, look at this, on the 22nd, we've got yet another one rolling in. Again, that's bringing heavy rain across the country and no doubt risk of gales to many of us, severe gales possible in the north and the west once again. With that one getting closer to Christmas now, into the pre-Christmas period on to the 23rd, and this is back to the showery conditions, quite chilly, sunshine and showers, but showers could turn a bit wintry up in the north. This is how Christmas Eve is looking. You notice that we got to Christmas quicker now, or we're getting to Christmas quicker now. That's because we're getting closer to the time frame, so there's fewer days to look at preceding Christmas. Christmas Day, anyway, is looking generally quite mild. Christmas Day, we're in this southwesterly flow. There's probably quite an active weather system in there. It's usually a fair amount of the heavy rain, but it's a mild southwesterly flow. Temperatures easily up to double figures in the southern part of the country. And then Christmas Day itself, that's looking mild as well. A bit of a build of pressure to the south, so England and Wales could have a fairly dryish day, probably very wet up across Scotland. But the winds are coming up from the southwest, so obviously it is mild, temperatures into double figures across most parts of the country. Typically very mild and rainy Christmas Day for the north, and a very mild and mostly dry Christmas Day down in the south. Boxing Day strengthens that ridge a little bit more, so that could be very mild and very pleasant actually for Boxing Day. Part of the isobars back, the winds are coming from a long way south, so very mild areas being dragged up, but with the build of pressure, particularly for England and Wales, there's a lot of dry weather. So that would be a Boxing Day that could see temperatures up to 13, 14, 15 degrees. Actually quite a warm Boxing Day with a lot of sunshine and very spring-like, dare I say it, conditions. Not what you want if you want a cold Christmas, obviously. 27th of December looks very similar as well. That's very mild and mostly dry, probably wet for western Scotland and Northern Ireland, but bulk of the country looking dry and very mild there with the high pressure set up across central parts of Europe. We run through towards the New Year then, and it's staying mild with high pressure still in there to the south, so this could be a remarkably mild Christmas week actually, with temperatures into double figures on most days, particularly down in the south. There'll be a lot of sunshine and dry weather as well. It's stormy before Christmas, but after Christmas, a little bit of a taste of spring perhaps. And then we go up towards New Year's Eve, and it begins to turn more unsettled again. That low pressure starting to pull away to the southwest, so low pressure begins to bring some rain into the north and west, and probably a slight cool down in the temperatures as well. And then through the first week of January, it starts to turn more unsettled again. The purples begin to come back to the north. That's never a very good sign, because it means that we're bringing active weather systems back in off the Atlantic, and it could be turning a little bit stormy there perhaps in the north and west as well. Very unsettled conditions running through that first week of January. Eventually we finish up on the night, perhaps getting a bit of a build of pressure, turning things a bit drier and maybe a bit colder as well there, with the risk of a little bit of frost. So not what you want if you want a cold Christmas at all. This 16th update could be just about the worst we've had as we've been doing these updates. As I've said at the start, we have had a trend this year towards colder Christmas, but clearly this one is a very mild, very Atlantic driven. It's stormy before Christmas and dry after Christmas, but throughout it all, generally, the temperatures are looking mild, particularly around and after Christmas. Now, it might be bad as we're getting closer to Christmas, for CFS is now starting to pick up on a new trend, which is to keep things very mild, or to term things very mild. But I can tell you that the CFS runs 4 times a day: midnight, 6 o'clock in the morning, midday and 6 in the evening. Whilst I always use the midday run, have had a look at the other 3, and all of those other 3 actually are looking quite cold. So if it had been, say, been using the 6 o'clock run or the 6 in the evening run of the CFS for this update, it would have all looked very, very different. So it's not entirely off the cards that we're going to have colder weather over Christmas. And let's just wait and see where things go when we do the 17th update, which will be on Tuesday evening. So come back for that then. But 10 minutes, that's all for now, and thanks for watching.